Welcome to Rompin' Rhyme. It's time to say the hello rhyme. Are you ready? Raise your hands up. Let's see them. Okay, up and down and turn around. Touch the sky and touch the ground. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your nose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wave your hands and say hello! Hello and welcome to our beach story time.
Duncan, wake up! Miss Jen is taking us to the beach. I'm so excited!
Mr. Magoo, Duncan, we better hurry up and pack because we have to get to the beach early so we can find a great spot.
Oh, Mr. Magoo, I just woke up. I have no idea what to pack for the beach. Miss Jen, can you help us?
So I have my sun hat, I'm wearing my bathing suit, I have my sunglasses. The only thing left that I need is some sunscreen. So I'm gonna put a little bit of extra on my nose because I tend to get lots of sunburns on my nose. But you're gonna put it all over to make sure that you are protected from the sun.
Miss Jen, I think Mr. Magoo has packed enough for all of us. I see way too much stuff and I don't know how we're going to fit it in our car. Oh, Duncan, don't worry about it. We'll just bring the wagon. We need a pail to collect sand for our sandcastles. We need a shovel. We need the beach ball to play with. And the snorkel to go swimming and see all the fish. And some books and some towels. And an umbrella and some flip-flops. We need all of this stuff. Don't worry. We'll find some room.
So what is your favorite thing to do at the beach? My favorite thing to do is read a nice book.
Oh, I can't wait to build a sandcastle. That will be so much fun.
Oh, I love building sandcastles. They're so much fun. But you have to be careful where you build it because if a big wave comes along, it can ruin your sandcastle. Sandcastle on the beach. I built you big and strong. Show us your muscles, we're nice and strong like the sandcastle. A wave crashed up on the sand, so everyone be the wave. Whoops, you were gone. Uh-oh, there goes our sandcastle. We'll have to build another one.
Miss Jen, I think I need to learn how to build a strong sandcastle. Do you have any books that we can read about it?
Oh, I have just the story. But first, let's get our wiggles out. Okay, it's time for Open Them, Shut Them. Are you ready? Let's do it. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right down to your chin, chin, chin. Open up your little mouth, open up, ah, but don't let them in. The Sandcastle Contest by Robert Munch. Illustrated by Michael Marchenko. Read with permission from Scholastic Publishing. Matthew's father stood in the driveway and said, "I think we're all ready to go. Let's make sure everything is here. Do we have the bicycles? Yes. Do we have the food? Yes. Do we have the boat? Yes. Do we have everything? No, yelled Matthew. No, said his dad. No, said Matthew. We don't have a dog. Dog, said his dad. We don't even own a dog. I know, said Matthew. Now would be a good time to get a dog. No dog, said his dad. Now, do we have everything? No, yelled Matthew. We don't have my sandbox. "Matthew," said his mom, "we can't bring the sandbox, but the first place we camp will have a nice beach and you will get lots of sand to play with." "Well," said Matthew, "okay." So they drove and drove and drove and drove until they came to a place to camp. Matthew jumped out of the van and ran to the beach. He came to a girl making a small sandcastle and a big sand dog. She said, "Hi, my name is Kalita, and I'm going to win the sandcastle contest." "Wow," said Matthew. "I'm going to build a sandcastle too. What can I win?" "You can win a bathtub full of ice cream," said Kalita. "All right," said Matthew. When Matthew was almost done, Kalita came over to look at his house. She had her sand dog on a leash. "Nice sand house," said Kalita. "Really, really nice sand dog," said Matthew. A judge came by and said, "Get this house out of here. Who put this house on the beach?" "This is my sand house," said Matthew. "I made it for the sand contest." "Ha," said the judge. "I know a real house when I see one, and there are no real houses allowed on the beach." Then he went inside and sat in a sand chair and watched a sand show on TV. Another judge came by and said, "Get this house out of here. Who put this house on the beach?" "This is my sand house," said Matthew. "I made it for the sand contest." "Ha," said the judge. "I know a real house when I see one, and there are no real houses allowed on the beach." She went into the bedroom and looked at the sand bed. She went into the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, and looked at the sand apples and the sand celery and the sand cartons of milk. Then she said, "Little boy, you've got to get this house off the beach." "This is my sand house," said Matthew, "and I'm going to prove it." "Ha," said the judges. So Matthew went outside and kicked the sand house right beside the door. It all turned back into an enormous pile of sand and fell on the judges. "Help!" yelled the judges, and everyone came running out and dug them out. When the judges were finally out from under the sand, they yelled, "Matthew wins! His sand house was so good that we thought it was a real house!" "Matthew wins!" everybody yelled, and they gave him a bathtub full of ice cream. Matthew started eating the ice cream and he said to Kalita, "Want to help me eat this?" "Yes," said Kalita. While they were eating the ice cream, Matthew said, "How come you didn't tell everybody that your dog is sand? I bet you would have won with a sand dog." "Well," said Kalita, "this is Sandy, my sand dog, and I'm going to take him camping and feed him ice cream every day, and he is going to be my pet, and I am never going to turn him back into sand." "Wow," said Matthew. "I wish I had thought of that. Can you show me how to make one?" "No problem," said Kalita. And Matthew's mom and dad were so happy with Matthew's amazing sand dog that they decided to take it camping. And look, they brought the sandbox too, and they're building a sandcastle as they're going down the street. And that's the end of our story.
Miss Jen, after hearing that story, it really made me wonder, are Duncan and I made of sand too? "Oh, Mr. Magoo, we're not made of sand, although all of this sand all over my fur has made me look pretty sandy." Hey, guess what? I saw a fish in the water. Miss Jen, do you know any songs about fish?
Wow, there are so many fish in the water right now. That reminds me of a song. I have an idea. Let's pretend we're underwater. We can make our voices sound like we're underwater just by doing this. So everyone try that right now. Perfect. All the fish are swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. All the fish are swimming in the water all day long. All right, so now we're gonna see really big fish. Okay, so big fish will have really deep voices. So everyone make a deep voice like this. Alright, ready? All big fish are swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. All big fish are swimming in the water all day long. And we can't forget about the itty bitty fish, and they have high little voices. So we're gonna sing with high little voices. Ready? Itsy bitsy fish are swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. Itsy bitsy fish are swimming in the water all day long.
You know, Miss Jen, I've seen all kinds of fish swimming in the water, but there's one kind of fish I'm glad we didn't run into. That's a jellyfish, because they can sting. Phew! It's too bad that they sting because they're so pretty. Hey, that gives me an idea. Miss Jen, let's do a jellyfish craft.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Duncan's Craft Corner. Today we'll be making a jellyfish out of some construction paper. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out our template. So here we have already cut out our jellyfish body template, and we're going to trace that onto some yellow construction paper. You can choose whatever color you like. Then we're going to cut out the lower half of the body and trace that onto some blue construction paper. And then we'll cut that out as well. Make sure you're using some kid-safe scissors, and if you need help, you can always get an adult to help you. Then we're going to glue the bottom half of the body onto the top half, and then we're going to glue our eyes. So here's one eye, and then we're going to take the other one and glue it right beside the first eye. There we go. Now all we have to do is draw on our little smiley face, and he looks like a little jellyfish. Now all we have to do is make the tentacles. So we're going to use some scrap construction paper that we already cut out our body with, and we're going to fold it so that we have straight lines to follow, and then cut them out so you have some thin pieces of construction paper in each color. And then you're going to twist them around your finger so that we can make them nice and curly. Now that our paper is nice and curly, we're going to flip over our little face, and then we're going to glue each of them onto the bottom. So there's one. And if it takes less time to just put a big strip of glue all along the bottom, and then you can just attach them. Up with a little more glue, flip it over, and you have yourself a beautiful jellyfish. Ta-da! Down at the seashore, isn't it grand? Wiggling my toes in the soft warm sand, building a tall castle where the king and the queen can stay. But when the tide comes rushing in, they'll have to move away. Bye!
Oh, I lost my sandcastle again. All of this building sandcastles in the sun has made me sleepy. I think it's time for the goodbye song. Mr. Magoo, do you want to start us off? Why, certainly, Duncan. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to our friends.
Oh, it's time to say goodbye. Wave your hands, don't be shy.
Oh, it's time to say goodbye to our friends.
Goodbye, everyone. Don't forget to pick up your Romp and Rhyme Storytime craft kits, available at all 3 Brock Library locations. See you next week.